Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
Piles and piles of snow all around the Fargo-Moorhead area. Crews are working non-stop to move it out of the way as we all brace for yet another winter storm hitting us this weekend.
And that one, a massive blast of back-breaking, wet, heavy snow, is the first of a 1-2 punch in the next 6 days. There's a lot to keep track of, Hutch, starting with the overnight hours and tomorrow morning.
Yeah, things are actually beginning to change out to the west and far south right now. We still have a low, hazy, soupy-looking skyline over the FM area. Here's a look at our timeline. We expect snow to begin for many by first thing in the morning. Ongoing heavy snow through the midday and into the evening. And then by the wee hours of Sunday morning, the snow will be exiting, but not before leaving 6 or more inches of snow for many across the valley. And there will be some periods of very gusty winds late in the storm Saturday night and Sunday morning. Let's get right to the bread and butter right here. How much snow can you expect? Fargo and the Southern Valley and much of Lakes Country, 8 to 12 inches, some places even more of wet, heavy snow. And even in Grand Forks towards Lake of the Woods, Valley City, Jamestown, and Ellendale, 5 to 9 inches of heavy, wet snow. The area with the least amount of snow will be up in the Devil's Lake Basin. The radar showing this activity is getting started out to the west, so by daybreak, even before, it will be starting in our western and southern counties. Here's that winter storm warning that's been crawling across the bottom of your screen. I'll have hour-by-hour details on this and its impacts here in just a few moments.
All right, thank you, Hutch. And before you head out this weekend, download the Valley News Live Storm Team Weather app. You'll get the latest forecasts and conditions so that you can plan your day. All you have to do is search VNL Weather in the App Store and download it for free.
We're probably going to have ice-covered roads because the snow is going to be wet and it's going to stick to the road and freeze as ice.
You'd think living in the upper Midwest, we would be used to driving in the snow and ice, but apparently that's not the case, at least according to law enforcement.
As Valley News Team's Joshua Pagero found out, they're concerned about how drivers will react when we get hit with another winter storm this weekend.
After we thought we had survived all there was of snow this winter, another blast will dump several inches on the region. And with the snow comes alerts and cautions from law enforcement agencies. But the high number of accidents in Fargo-Moorhead alone has troopers in Minnesota and North Dakota frustrated. They say drivers are ignoring common winter driving rules.
The crashes that we have aren't people that are passing through. There are local peoples that travel the roadways every day.
Distracted driving, too, I'm afraid is only getting worse. And you have no room for error out here when it comes to this time of year.
That recklessness has caused hundreds of accidents. North Dakota Highway Patrol says from January 1st to the end of February, troopers responded to 315 crashes in the Fargo metro area. In Minnesota, troopers say more than 600 motorists in the southern part of the state were stranded during a recent blizzard. Law enforcement says accidents are most common on and off ramps, and they say to just take it slow whenever you're approaching one.
People are driving too fast for the conditions, or they're following too close, or in those cases where they're merging onto the interstate, they're trying to accelerate too fast and they spin out.
Another thing that bothers troopers is when motorists drive into snow fog and end up hitting a snow plow.
I've said it before and I'll say it again, good common sense is a big part of it. I mean, know before you go. It just takes a little homework. You can't just hop in that car and go.
Both agencies are expecting to monitor the conditions throughout the weekend and will have more troopers on standby. In Fargo-Moorhead, Joshua Pagero, Valley News Live.
Troopers say tomorrow's wet snow will make roads icy, which has residents around the valley prepping for a weekend indoors. What they have to say about the incoming storm coming up later on Valley News Live at 10.
That snowfall that's expected will likely be the most challenging in terms of shoveling this winter. Health experts are warning that depending on your health condition, shoveling this kind of snow presents a hazard. A Sanford exercise physiologist says shoveling that wet, heavy snow takes 6 times as much oxygen demand than just sitting around.
Cold air will constrict our vessels, so as you start doing something physical and your heart rate starts to elevate, blood pressure can elevate more due to the cold weather and the constricted vessels.
Hintermeyer adds that signs to look out for are shortness of breath, chest pains or pressure, and pain radiating to the shoulder or jaw or between the shoulder blades. For more tips, head to our website, valleynewslive.com, and click on this story.
Police are still looking for the suspect from an early morning bank robbery in Fargo. Take a look at your screen. Police say just before 8 this morning, this man dressed in a red graduation gown walked up to a teller at Alaris Financial on 32nd Avenue South and passed the teller a note that said, "Give me money or I'll shoot." He got away with an undisclosed amount of cash, but scanner traffic indicates it was about $3,000. It's unknown if the man actually had a gun. The robber is described as a black man in his 20s or 30s. His height is between 5'8" and 5'10". If you know anything about this case, you're urged to call police.
The Grand Forks County State's Attorney has ruled that deputies acted within their right when they shot a man last month. Travis Holt was arrested after he displayed a gun to deputies. The incident happened February 17th along Highway 2 in the county. Deputies responded to a call of a stranded motorist, and when they approached the car, Holt reportedly displayed the gun. The deputies fired their weapons, injuring Holt, who's now facing several charges. The state's attorney says deputies on scene feared for their lives.
A Sioux Falls woman has been charged in the death of a baby found in a ditch nearly 38 years ago. 57-year-old Teresa Bentis was arrested today on murder and manslaughter charges. Police say they used DNA and genealogy websites to determine that she's the mother of the child known as Baby Andrew. According to investigators, she left the newborn baby alive in a cornfield ditch in February of 1981, and he died of exposure. Authorities say the father of the baby was not involved in the crime and will not be arrested.
A grand jury indicted Empire actor Jussie Smollett on 16 felony charges today in connection with his reporting of a racially motivated attack in late January. The indictment alleges that Smollett lied to the Chicago police officer who responded the night of his alleged attack, as well as to a detective who was investigating the case. Smollett was initially charged with a single count, but the grand jury today returned a total of 16 counts. He claimed that he was attacked by two men shouting racist and homophobic slurs, but detectives eventually became suspicious of his claim and changed the direction of their investigation.
Today, President Donald Trump paid his respects to the 23 people who died after a powerful tornado roared through a rural Alabama town. Mr. Trump praised FEMA and state officials for a quick response, adding the damage he witnessed from a helicopter tour was hard to believe. He observed a moment of silence before white wooden crosses that stood in remembrance of each victim. The first couple held hands as they paused in front of each of the markers erected during near a church serving as a makeshift disaster relief center.
The ARC of Cass County gave people a chance to strut their stuff in style tonight at their 12th annual fashion show. Months of planning goes into this annual event, and the money raised goes toward programs within the organization. The ARC of Cass County is committed to promoting positive change in the lives of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities.
We kind of have a theme every year. We are doing the masquerade, so kind of the Mardi Gras theme. It's kind of one of our funner ones. Everyone's coming in with their beads and their mask, and we're having a great time.
Event coordinators say that this fashion show is an opportunity for people to get dressed up, walk down a red carpet, and shine.